Well, hello there, everyone. How are you doing?
Wait! Wait for me!
I must be joined
Wait
by
for me!
my cohorts in crime here. That is right.
Alright. That actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Turning
Haven't
down
we
the
just been
volume.
doing it like this the whole time, guys?
Well, it might be this way for a little while. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Cecil Laird.
I mean, Fuego here.
And this is your horror show news
with
booze. We don't even need to reach very far now.
I know.
With, of course,
Cool
coasters. Courtesy of Nerdful Things. I got my Freddy.
Yeah, I got you, Jason. I'm a Freddy guy too, but
little off-camera drama there, pre-filming.
Yes.
But yeah.
Everyone loves Freddy, dude.
Everyone loves Freddy. All right, so all right, let me take a look at
it's
the couple.
It's a very, very thin week.
Very thin week.
And there was a couple of stories that I could have put on here, but you know, for the sheer fact that it was like Chiller from NBC Universal getting, you know, the
you could put
axe.
that on there. We can talk about that.
I mean, we can talk about that. I've never seen it, but also The Walking Dead has a 90-minute mid-season finale, which I thought maybe we could talk about. But
okay,
you know, for the most part, it was thin pickings this week, guys. So the one
all right. So while you talk about the first story, don't be offended, but I'm gonna post that we're doing this right now.
Okay, so
right.
You're seeing it live, guys. So after Aquaman having just finished filming with Mr. James Wan, which is a film a lot more people have confidence in comparison with this Justice League film that people are bitching underperformed. Cecil liked it. I enjoyed
it. We did our review. Brittany and I did our review. It's on the channel if you're interested. But yeah, I had fun with it. It wasn't the best movie ever, but I did have fun with it.
Yeah. So Momoa's next project now is apparently this The Crow Reborn thing that he has been just talking about for so long. He was Instagramming back and forth with Corin Hardy, I believe, who is the director of the Conjuring universe spinoff The Nun, which is about to come out. And that's the guy who has been chosen to direct this by James O'Barr. O'Barr is much more directly involved with the creation process of this new Crow film, so it is in fact going to be a reboot. It's not like a sequel, continuation, whatever. They're saying it's supposed to be more faithful to the comic book. I actually really liked the original film that the Dark City director did. Yeah. So and it's funny, I was watching Collider, as you often bitch that I watch so often.
What do you mean I bitch that you... What? That is out of nowhere. You're creating drama for the sake of the camera, and I'm not going to have any of that.
Chris was telling me that you give me hell all the time on the podcast for how much I watch Collider.
I don't give you hell all the time. When did I give you hell?
I don't even know. Maybe he just created the drama in my head. But
well, maybe I do.
Yeah,
no, I don't.
Nonetheless, though, that's the Schnepp station. That's in, you know, Campia used to be there. But
Schnepp.
Nonetheless, they're doing their top 50 countdown of the greatest superhero movies ever, and they came to The Crow at, I think it was like 42 or 43 or something like that. But they were doing a direct comparison about how The Dark Knight basically ripped off or just used as inspiration a lot of the scenes from The Crow, like where Draven goes in and just like he's there with all the mobsters and he like jumps on the table and he sits down and starts talking to all of them. They were like doing side-by-side comparisons of the way Heath Ledger approached a couple of the scenes in The Dark Knight, and I was just like, holy crap, they really did draw inspiration there. So, nonetheless, I feel like it's an underrated film as far as early 90s superhero, like comic book adaptation films go, because that was back when, I mean, we really only had, what, Batman Returns? There wasn't, I mean, I guess there was, It was
the first really successful comic book adaptation, and where
that was R-rated too.
Yeah, well, that's true. Where I think it actually surpassed the comic material.
Yeah,
I thought the movie was so well done, so well directed, so well acted, and of course, there's the tragedy of Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
But that was an early performance of Winston. From Ghostbusters,
Ernie Hudson.
But even I thought the little girl that played Sarah was really good, and you know the whole movie was just really well done. Sorry, I'm getting back to get to the comments.
No, you're fine. I actually didn't even think that the sequel was that bad, but
which one? There were like 4 movies in one series. City of Angels wasn't bad. Was that the Edward Furlong one though?
No, Edward Furlong was the 3rd one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it was something Perez in City of Angels. You guys will obviously correct us in the comments here, but the TV series.
City of Angels had the porn theater. scene, didn't it?
Yes, I believe it
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Shit, yeah, you do. But the Crow Reborn, you know, there's some people who say that the original Crow movie is so good it shouldn't be remade. But I know that they did deviate from the comics quite a bit. I recently purchased on Amazon that deluxe edition of the comic book that adds a bunch of pages that were in the original manuscript but didn't make it to the official comic, and so that's something that I would really like to reread and do a retro review with you, perhaps.
Yeah, I've got the trade.
I mean, before this film comes out. So
I've actually got the trade, and then there were 2 other little Crow things that I did.
Spin-off-y kind of
I have 2 of those. So I'm down to reread and do that. I love the Crow so much. That is
enjoy the mythology
one of my all-time favorite action movies.
Yeah.
And supernatural, like it's a supernatural action movie.
Yeah, with
and
lots
it's
of rock elements.
So cool,
in it.
rock in it, and a real goth sensibility, which really spoke to me at 13.
Yeah.
You know,
well, shit, you've seen me cosplay as the Crow before.
Yeah, well, he's amazing. The whole movie is so good. It's so quotable. Is that gasoline I smell? Mr. Gideon, you aren't paying attention. What?
Yeah, he had so much
love
more,
that shit.
He had so much more charisma than I was even anticipating from the son of Bruce Lee. I mean, for God's sake.
He was so good, dude. It was so sad.
Rest peacefully.
Can't rain all the time. Like, I love that shit. I have the
dude,
Crow soundtrack. And the Crow score, the score is
both
unreal,
of them are great,
dude.
but
They're both so good.
But the soundtrack is such a snapshot
Time
of
to take her over easy. Big empty, dude. Come on.
Yeah, Stone Temple Pilots. It's such a snapshot of music at that time. You know, whether it was goth or grunge or whatever the hell it was. I mean, damn, was it good. Even the City of Angels soundtrack was great.
But so. Is Jason Momoa signed on, or they're trying to craft it around the idea of him being the new Eric
There
Draven?
is still nothing official, unfortunately, but the fact that they have been so adamant with their Instagrams back and forth with just...
Momoa's been down with the Instagram stuff?
Just like 7 days ago, he posted, after they wrapped filming on Aquaman, he posted a photo of like the white and the black paint and stuff, and he's like, Corin Hardy, you ready? We're gonna do this, and so on.
He did. He put himself in the Crow makeup.
It was a random photo of some sort. It was like a painting of the face mask and stuff, and so. But he's making it plain and clear. This is his next project.
Nice. And, that's exciting.
I still don't really like the casting though, dude.
Why not?
Because he's a big beefy bro, as opposed to like a skinny, sickly looking.
That doesn't
rocker.
mean anything. He could. I'm sure he's going to lose some
musculature. When you think about the character of Eric Draven, he's a skinny looking like Trent Reznor goth rocker guy, as opposed to some big beefy meat.
But I don't think they'll lean on the beefiness. I think they'll downplay that.
Maybe.
I think they'll downplay it. They'll have him take his shirt off one time in the movie, but they'll downplay it.
They're going to keep natural tattoos too.
They're going to keep him.
Those are all real.
They're going to keep him in that. Maybe they'll CG it like Superman's mustache.
How was that for you, by the way?
Not good. Honestly, I had forgotten that was going to happen, and the very, very, very first scene in Justice League
for all the Whedon reshoots
is that, and I was like, did they get a different actor for? Why is this? What is weird about this? There's something off. I had forgotten, and then I heard afterwards, and I was like, that's why it was so odd. It totally looked so weird. Yeah. But anyway, hopefully they don't try and CG out Momoa's tattoos. But I don't think they need to have. They're not gonna. They don't need to emphasize if they get rid of his facial hair, or at least take it way down. Like, I think it could work really, really well, man. I think he could do the brooding musician very well.
Face, man, and he's a metalhead.
Standing on the top of a building like a gargoyle, you couldn't see him doing that?
I could see him doing that, but just
in an awesome leather coat, you know? Like,
but it's just his... I don't know, man. Like I said, the facial hair, the physique, I don't think it really correlates.
You gotta separate.
But that's just
separate. He's not gonna look the same. They're going to downplay. He's not going to need to be as buff. Like, these guys, Chris Hemsworth was not... Did he look like Thor in Ghostbusters?
No.
There you go.
Although he was heavily clothed in Ghostbusters.
Well, Eric Draven is constantly wearing a leather coat.
Yeah, that's true.
They're able to downplay.
Perhaps I'm just unnecessarily bitching. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe that's a little bit more important. And this is a good segue into another bit of update information that we got, in the fact that with a Yahoo Movies Q&A that Danny McBride recently did, he finally gave some clarification.
Wait, real quick. Jerks is here. Jerks Productions is here.
Yeah.
Let's just do the join in, get everyone in. But he made a good point. I bet Millie Bobby Brown will play Sarah. That would be fucking so good, dude.
That would be amazing.
If she played Sarah, that would be awesome,
off,
dude.
Man.
That is such a good call, Jerks, and I'm glad work's picking up for you, man. Okay, Sam Power is here. Kevin Ketchy is here.
Sam Power!
Yeah, exactly. Horror Show Power. Pantera X Radam is here. Leslie McCann.
I'm not a big Pantera fan.
Why you gotta say it? Why? Why? You just can't resist. You're not. You don't need to say you're kidding if it's true, but just
every joke is half
you don't
true.
need to just go right to that because he clearly is. So you're immediately alienating a viewer.
Not at all.
Come on, Fuego.
No.
What are you doing?
No,
Amanda
I'm an
Tamayo is
Anselmo
here.
fan though. I love Down. I love Super Join.
There you go. Okay, there you go. That's making up for it. Amanda Tamayo is here. Edward D is here.
She's awesome.
The Crow is great. F the haters. The soundtrack alone is 90s as fuck. Says
For
Edward D.
real, it is so nice.
Raider 1FN. Rochelle Davis is the name of the girl who played Sarah. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yes, there you go.
Old Fart 62. Good evening, the horror show. No, Old Fart, not Oh Fart. It's Old Fart.
Old Fart.
Old Fart.
No,
Yeah.
that's why I farted, dude.
But that's not what. Chris Wright is here. Beth S is here. All right, Death Clock action film would be nuts. Says,
Ooh, Death Clock. Thunder Horse.
All right.
Thunder
Channel Sundown is here.
Yes,
okay, cool.
Amanda's awesome.
All right, so we're caught up.
Yes,
Fuego.
we are.
Let's
Yes,
move
we are.
on.
So the second one is a little bit of clarification that Danny McBride did with Yahoo Movies this past week, where he was basically describing, we've had so many conflicting reports, right? Where people were saying, okay, it's going to go after H2O and then ignore Resurrection because that's where Jamie Lee dies, is in Resurrection, and it's stupid. It's a fucking horrible movie. That's that film.
No, then we heard it was after Halloween 2.
And then we heard it was after Halloween 2, and apparently the clarification is that this is an alternate universe after Halloween 1.
Okay.
According to Danny McBride. He said basically, imagine if the first Halloween ended differently. Is the way he's describing it. That is lame too, because I honestly really enjoyed the second Halloween film.
You can ask us to ignore any of the sequels from even after 1. You can ask us to ignore the rest.
Had a play
but you
in
can't
the
ask
one,
us to imagine a different ending to 1. That's not right. That's fucked up.
And where they're not siblings.
Because then you're like, this is a sequel to something that we think is better than what Carpenter actually did.
And yet he's endorsing this. He's scoring the film. But
yeah, but he also says it's his last hurrah for the Halloween
that's
franchise.
What he's been saying, which, I mean, maybe put it to bed after this. But the fact that they got Jamie Lee Curtis back for this film, they said that they were so adamant about writing a treatment for the Laurie Strode character that was so faithful and so awesome that they could entice her. They didn't think she was going to come back in this Q&A that he did. And he was like so overjoyed when they were able to entice her to come back because she was that impressed with what they wrote for her. But this whole alternate universe thing that so many people are so hot on, I was okay with it for Neil Blomkamp, for the Alien universe. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't it feel very comic booky to you to have just the alternate timelines and the divergence and all this different stuff? For me, it does.
You make that sound like it's a bad thing,
it's
but I don't really care because I'm a huge comic book fan, and I like. We just literally got finished talking about liking how much I love alternate universe stuff.
Yeah, you have knowledge far beyond my comic knowledge. I'm an enthusiast, but he's like a straight up,
I'm actually, after this, you guys, I'm going to be recording for this Wednesday, I'm going to be recording a review of the first half of the Batman, or the DC Dark Knights, or Dark Days, rather, metal crossover, which is right now about 25 comics deep. And we're only halfway through, but
that's like it's
definitely horror. Yeah, it's basically a bunch of evil Batmen from dying universes show up in our world to take over and destroy, led by the Batman Who Laughs, which is an alternate universe version where Batman becomes the Joker after killing him.
Jesus
Joker
Christ.
has a protocol in this world where when Batman kills him, this gas comes out of his mouth only long enough to get to whoever kills him.
Kind of reinfect.
And then it to become so that the Joker goes on, and so Batman becomes the Joker and destroys the whole Bat family, and then is leading he's the leader of the evil Batman.
That sounds batshit crazy.
Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about that after this, you guys. But yeah, I'm a big fan of alternate universe stuff. So this what Danny McBride's saying is actually intriguing to me.
Maybe I'm unnecessarily hating, but somebody who was actually really upset about this divergence was the girl that you like who was in those sequels.
Danielle Harris.
She was
Jerks just chimed in on that.
Very upset about this, and she even mentioned it in an interview or a tweet or something.
Her agents called Danny McBride and Blumhouse about having them in the film together, and they said no.
Yeah, they were not about it, and she was really bummed out. And I mean, shit, I will never forget the Halloween 4. Was it? It
would make a lot of sense to put her in. But again, if they're saying it's an alternate universe,
she was in
that's
the
why.
Clown outfit on the cover?
Halloween 4 and 5. Yeah, no, she was in 4 and 5.
No.
Because she was becoming she was the traumatized child that was
a meal
supposed to
ticket
become.
for her too. So she was like, please, Daddy, please.
Well, at the end of
$20 million,
4, she was the new Michael Myers. She was at the top of the stairs with a bloody knife in the clown outfit. And Donald Pleasant Caesar is like, no, and then part 5 picks up from there where she's in a mental hospital, I think, if I recall correctly. But yeah, it would make total sense. Although she did come back in Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, so I don't know why she's bitching that she doesn't come back again.
That was more so fan service, I think, than anything else.
Well, what does she think this would be? I mean,
True.
But anyway.
True.
Anyway,
sorry. Anyway, guys, that is our Halloween update for you. And we're going to jump to the third story, which is the fact that Quentin Tarantino finally gave some clarification about his serial killer film that is his next project. That was originally supposed to be with the Weinstein Company. It's about Charles Manson, and it's apparently not about Charles Manson specifically.
A lot of people seem to be excited about the Batman review.
Really?
I can't wait to watch that, Cecil. Yes, very interested in that story. Holy shit, Cecil, that sounds killer. From what I've heard, The Drowned is an anti-hero, and The Drowned is part of the Batman story. So, yeah, guys, stay tuned for that. That'll be this Wednesday. That'll be the episode for Wednesday.
Yes, Comic Day is Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But
Quentin Tarantino...
Actually, on Wednesday is the... Sorry. It's the release of the big Doomsday Clock issue. Where it's the DC Universe crossing over with Watchmen.
That's right, the 22nd, and I love Watchmen so much. I was not a fan...
It's worth mentioning for the news.
I was not a fan of before Watchmen. I thought...
I didn't read any of it. I'm actually not a fan of Watchmen. But I'm a fan... You okay?
I love Watchmen.
Really?
Holy fuck, dude! Watchmen
maybe you should read it
good.
With me. We'll read Doomsday Clock and we can see. We'll talk about it from two different perspectives.
You guys know Watchmen is great, right?
Oh, I don't
Watchmen
like Watchmen
is great.
Watchmen is dense. It's not garbage, but it's
even
dense, unenjoyable, boring.
It's supremely dense in the fact that it's not completely a comic.
It's unenjoyably boring.
It's like half novel, half comic. Because remember, there was the novel portions.
For the Black Pirate or whatever the fuck it is.
Not just that, there was full on novel portions for each issue that were 10, 20, 30 pages in certain instances. Maybe I'm overstepping my boundaries there, but
and I have a big, nice hardcover that I got with the deluxe. The movie, I actually did like the movie.
The movie, I
don't think I've ever watched the full unrated or the director's cut. Though.
They have a director's cut, and then they have.
I have it to watch, but I haven't watched it yet.
And then they have an ultimate cut, which is the one that I own.
No, I have the ultimate one.
Yeah, Ultimate is where they incorporate the Black Freighter in there.
I haven't watched that yet.
With the cutbacks, just like
we could watch that and do a review if you want, because I want to. But anyway, I
was about to say so. Tarantino, his next movie was allegedly about Charles Manson, serial killer. That's horror shit, right? Scary shit. Apparently, he gave some clarification this past week, and it's not completely about Manson, but it's going to incorporate him to some degree. It's like a Pulp Fiction type multi-narrative type switching around that takes place in 1969.
Okay.
And so he was saying, okay, I'm going to have one of those story beats focus around Sharon Tate. And Sharon Tate was the wife of Roman Polanski, who has been in exile in France after his child nastiness and whatnot. And so he's been there for decades at this point, but he directed Rosemary's Baby, one of the most iconic horror films ever. His wife was in it, but she was killed by the Manson family in the most disgusting, brutal manner. And I think she was pregnant at the time too, which is what's so horrible about it. So that's apparently going to be one of the beats in this Pulp Fiction-y, multi-encompassing storyline type business. I love Tarantino. I did not love Hateful Eight, but I love Django, and I love Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs, and most of his other stuff, even though he's never really delved completely into horror. He's had horrific elements in his films, and so, I know you don't like period pieces that much. Is this 1969 slot like an okay area where you might be compelled, or
it's more about the subject matter than the time frame for me.
Yeah.
I still don't. I mean, they just had that movie, right, depicting this, which we didn't watch yet, but
Loosely
we did a trailer reaction
for it. The home invasion.
But if it's Tarantino doing it, then fuck yeah, I'm on board.
Snippy ass dialogue, man.
I mean, come on, and he's great with action too. Like, I'm about it. I'm about it. Again, I've mentioned numerous times on the channel, I am not a big fan of serial killer stuff.
Yeah, me neither, honestly. And you hated Zodiac when I loved Zodiac.
But it's not that
great.
Interesting to me. It's just not that interesting to me. But Tarantino makes a lot of not interesting things interesting to me.
True.
So I'm on board for that. I'm on board for that. And didn't he just die?
Who?
Didn't someone just die? Charles Manson?
Maybe. Well, shit. I read he was on his deathbed. He was rushed to like a medical center recently.
I saw one article on Facebook
took him out of prison
that I think he died, but it might have been a fake article. So I don't want to missay anything, but he's the one with the swastika on his forehead, right?
Of course he is.
Yeah, that was the guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just that he was rushed to the hospital.
Well, to quote Stephen King, no big loss, but
yeah, exactly. Anyway. Can I do the next one?
Absolutely. I was hoping you would.
Yes. So the next one is that, and I didn't know about it until just now when I read it while we were talking about the last one, which is when you saw me get excited, because
that was the excitement.
Filming has wrapped on the pilot episode of Kevin Bacon's return to the Tremors franchise.
And returning to sci-fi, no less.
So does that mean they're going to display
There's still no
pilot somewhere, or are they actually going to? Are they just submitting it? Okay, so they're submitting it to Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
They're going to edit it and submit it to Sci-Fi to see if they can get a series going. If it's Kevin Bacon, there's no way they're not going to approve it. There's no way they're not going to approve it if Kevin Bacon is on board.
Star power, baby.
The following was hugely popular. It went for 4 seasons when it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But there's no way it's not going to go. To me, this is a success. It's gonna go. Even if Sci-Fi doesn't take it, someone else will.
Yeah, it was originally supposed to be Amazon, remember? And
I know.
Then it ended up shifting to Sci-Fi, and
Sci-Fi is gonna for sure take it.
He actually tweeted a very funny photo where apparently in the town of Perfection.
Will Rube is here. Sorry.
Woo! In the town of Perfection, he's like a local hero after killing all the graboids, and so there's like bobbleheads of him that they have for grabs and stuff, and that was the photo that he tweeted. So that was.
So I'm gonna need. Was there a graboid bobblehead too?
There was not. It was
just.
It was just Kevin Bacon graboid heads or what the shit? What
bobbleheads.
The hell was his name in the movie? I'm trying to remember.
Valentine McKee.
Yeah, Valentine. That's right.
Val McKee. Yeah.
I'm actually disappointed that we're not going to be seeing homie from the last few films, though. The one who's been in every single one, maybe in a cameo.
Oh, Michael Gross.
Yeah, Gross.
I think they can eventually blend them together. Let's get that up and running while we have Tremors 6 appearing in February or January.
It was originally supposed to be this fall, and then they delayed it to February. So yeah. And that's the one which is in like the Great White North and Canada.
That's
and
fine with me.
They're like a different type.
Was fun.
Different type of tremor based on like the
Well, they had these South American tremors that were bigger than usual. South African tremors that were bigger than usual.
Dude, that was a fun movie. You and I.
It really was.
When we reviewed that, I liked Tremors 5.
It really was fun. It was better. It was for sure. It was the best one since 2.
Yeah, 2 was good, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Best one since 2.
2 in Mexico was good.
With Fred Ward.
Yeah, he was still on board.
Yeah, and with the Playboy Playmate. Yeah. October 74? Dude, I actually remember the month. Like, I love that movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm excited for
that
this.
Mexican guy's legs got chewed up by the ground.
By the outside?
Yeah, it was awesome, dude.
Yeah. It starts off with the guy trying to escape. Like, it's Tremors all over, man. I love it. I fucking love those movies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm super excited about this. Absolutely.
You did lend me your previous
the TV series.
sci-fi series, which I have yet to watch.
You need to watch it.
Because Cecil has lent me so much shit, and I have a stack of Cecil things.
Stop reading new shit and go through that.
You have a few of my things, too, but nonetheless.
That's true, I do.
Yes, Death of Superman Lives. What happened?
I still want to watch that. I still need to watch. I started it, and then I moved on to a bunch of different stuff. But, yeah, I need to get back to that.
It's 3 hours long.
It's like out of sight, out of mind. I need to just put that on. Because that was good. That was really good.
Yeah, Schnepp spent a long time.
I need to watch that. Yeah, that was really fun.
So, this is a shout out to our co-host Marsha Parker, and a bit of news that when I put it in our little group Facebook feed that we constantly keep on.
Leslie McCann You haven't seen past Tremors 3? Tremors 4 was actually really good.
4 was better than 3.
4 was better than 3. 4 was a prequel, and it had Michael Gross. It was him playing the very first Gummer that came to Perfection Valley.
Yeah, it was like
back in the Old West times.
Yeah, it was like Wild Wild West, and imagine that the Tremors have been there the whole damn time.
Yeah,
you know, so
yeah, it was really a cool one.
Way better.
You should watch it.
3 is honestly the worst in the series, regrettably.
Yeah, 4 was really good.
Yeah.
My daughter has the Tremors 4 Blu-ray pack. Didn't know there was a 5th one. Yeah, 5 just came out like a year and a half ago.
It's got Jamie Kennedy in it.
Kennedy and Michael Gross. Yeah, and it's pretty a good movie. It really is.
Yeah, the weird found footagey like
oh,
social
it wasn't
media.
Found footage.
But okay, so found footage isn't the whole social media kind of filming.
The fact
itself.
that he was part of that.
Yeah,
he was about that. All right, so sorry, go ahead. Continue what you were saying.
Yeah, so shout out to Marsha Parker because we know this is news that she's extremely excited about. The podcast that she was briefly doing called Latchkey Kids, she was all about covering this particular show. I never watched this show. Did you ever watch this show? I think you and I might have missed the boat on this one.
I did not, no. Well, I watched 1 or 2 when I caught it on Nickelodeon, but it was not one that I regularly went back to. I think I probably saw more Hey Dudes than I saw Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Okay, so Are You Afraid of the Dark is getting a big screen treatment, and so I know this is something Marsha's going to be excited about, but since I never watched this show, interesting thing is I did some research though, dude. This was not like a Nickelodeon production. This was a Canadian property that Nickelodeon acquired and started rebroadcasting on their channel. So I've had lots of people tell me, they're like, dude, as far as like, if you liked Goosebumps on the Fox network, you would have really, really liked Are You Afraid of the Dark? I watched Goosebumps. I had basic television. I did not have cable as a kid. And so I wasn't part of the Are You Afraid of the Dark camp. And it's essentially about all these kids who sit around the campfire and they just like throw stories back and forth, and then it segues into the story. People are excited because one of the co-writers, his name is Gary Doberman, something like that. He was one of the co-writers on the It script, and I say co-writer because of the fact that, as Cecil knows, I read the original Cary Fukunaga script, and there was a lot of the Fukunaga script in the finished product. So who knows how much...
Did he get credit in the movie?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah. So who knows how much flavor this guy actually added to the proceedings. The It movie
I need to
was great.
watch your breakdown of what was in from the script and what wasn't.
Yeah, I got really, really...
Shout out to Hail the Stephen King episode. Look that one up.
I got deep and detailed about that shit, man. But, you know, this intrigues me mildly. I know someone like Marsha or somebody who actually grew up on the show is probably going to be much more intrigued. Did you guys watch Are You Afraid of the Dark as kids? Did you like it? Comments below, or comments here in the live stream.
Leslie McCann says the genre show I loved as a kid was Erie, Indiana.
I love Erie, Indiana. Oh damn! I've actually mentioned that here. Yeah, I've mentioned that on the show here before. I loved Erie, Indiana. It was on Fox. I think it was...
Edward D says Goosebumps or get the fuck out.
Dude, Goosebumps, as I tell Cecil all the time, piano lessons can be murder, Welcome to the Dead House. There are some really, really good R.L. Stine stories. There's some really bad ones too. Say Cheese and Die is another really good one. But, yeah.
Love the series. Watched it with my oldest daughter. Which one, old fart? Which one did you watch? Are you really 62, old fart? I would love to know your age, if you don't mind my asking. I would love to know how old we're getting as far as audience comes. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool, man.
We actually got a nice resurgence of subscribers.
Yeah, guys, the news, by the way, the news is every Sunday now, in case you didn't realize.
News with booze. Every Sunday now, guys.
And we are going to be recording another episode, which will probably air tomorrow rather than doing another, because I did live stream Evil Within earlier, so this is the second episode for today, so... we're going to stream another thing, but we're going to keep it unlisted until tomorrow. And then I'm going to record the Batman review for Wednesday. So
yeah, so no Hail to Stephen King this week since we did a double dip last week with Tommy Knockers.
Oh,
and,
yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and,
well, technically we missed the week before, but all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true, but
sure,
all right.
No, it is true.
All right. So.
Well, I mean, I was trying to finish the Mist series, and I have not finished them.
The TV series?
The TV series.
Oh, on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
How is it coming along?
So bad. Honestly,
how many episodes are there?
There's 10 episodes.
And how far are you?
I am 6 episodes in. I feel the same sentiment that I felt initially.
Would I like it at all? Knowing I don't like bunker stuff, knowing I want the creature stuff.
Knowing all of that, then no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah, definitely. It's
I'm just not going to waste my time.
There's so much teenage melodrama, like, goddamn.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, the
that
two main characters...
sounds like the fucking Dome.
The two main characters are essentially the younger
that sounds
girl
like the Dome
and
levels
her,
of bad.
and her, boy best friend, and it's not like a love thing, he's gay, and, which is super cool. But it's just like, I don't know, man. It's such a divergence from the source material that I just can't get into it. I cannot get into it. And I still want to do a Mr. Mercedes breakdown with Marcia when, after she has her child. And so as we go through the last few months of the year, I have some ideas for shows for next year. But it's like, God, everything seems like it needs to be anniversary type stuff. Like, should I talk about Dolores Claiborne? Should I talk about...
Do anniversary stuff.
Yeah?
Do anniversary stuff, for sure. But do other stuff too. Like,
we're
going to have to do... You know that next Halloween is going to be the Halloween of Halloween.
Yeah,
we got to do that.
October 19th. Yeah,
we got to watch all of them leading up to it.
Paul Rudd was in the 6th one, right?
I know.
It was his first on-screen role.
No, I can't wait to watch... And I want to watch both versions of Curse. Because there's two different versions, and I've only ever seen one. I haven't seen the longer version, which I'm excited about.
Curse
of Michael Myers.
Oh, okay.
No,
number 6. You were talking about Wes Craven's movie, Curse, the fucking werewolf movie.
Curse, no.
That was a bad movie, guys. I really thought that was going to be rad.
Born in 62, I'm 55. Wow, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I love that you're fucking on board for this. That's so cool.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, greatly appreciate it.
Feel free to drop your real name if you want, otherwise we'll keep calling you Old Fart.
That's not nice.
Field of Burns 83 is here every Saturday night before all that is what he would watch. I'm not sure what he said. Anibal Riveros. I think
that was like the time slot of...
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Anibal Riveros. In Chile, they didn't show you Afraid of the Dark. It was also, it was awesome. Yeah, we have a Chile... someone from Chile here. Hey, Dino's here from the Late Horror Show. What up, brother? Channel Sundown. I checked into an episode of that Mist that was on TV and I couldn't. Literally half of the episode felt like more of an adult episode of Degrassi. Never watched again.
Amanda is so right about that crap. God damn, it felt so much less about the actual aspect of the creeping in factor of the Mist and whatever was hiding within it. It was much more a person kind of... I don't know, man. It was like a period, not a period piece. It was like a personal examination of the characters and.
Is there any redeeming creature value at all?
Very little. I mean, there's an abundance of weird
insects.
Yeah, but it's not full on big creatures, at least from what I've seen so far.
Oh,
so
God.
I mean, there's a couple scenes where people are slammed against the glass, so you know that there's a presence out there, but.
That's such a fail, man.
Stick to Frank Darabont's film, man. Frank Darabont's film.
I still need to watch the black and white version.
Yeah.
Can we do a black and white review of The Mist?
I would love to. What I wanted to do with the Mist video for Hail to Stephen King was listen to that 3D audio version that Jason recommended from Comic-Con. I wanted to listen to that because it's a full-on audio drama.
Yeah, do that.
I wanted to listen to that, watch the film, watch the miniseries, and reread the novella because the novella is only 90 pages, so it's pretty short, and just do a cross comparison of all of them and see what was most faithful, what succeeded the best, and so on. So yeah, guys, the Mist coverage, Mr. Mercedes coverage. Next year I have some really fun ideas for the most unnecessary Stephen King sequels, which is a video that I want to do with all the Children of the Corn shit, the Mangler shit.
Sometimes they come back.
Yeah,
actually, that's the weird thing about those Stephen King movies. You got to really dissect them correctly.
I know.
And I would love to do that with you because I have all of the sequels because Stephen King adaptations tended to
nothing to do with, by the way.
No, a lot of straight to DVD movies adhered to this weird rule where 2 sucked, but then 3 was good. From Dusk Till Dawn, 2 sucked, but 3 was good.
But 3 was the period piece.
Sometimes they come back. 2 sucked, 3 was good.
Now, was 3 the one with, it was the frozen European kind of whatever?
No, yes. But 3 tended, they always tended to divert or try and continue the story in 2 and failed. And then 3, a lot of the times,
something completely different.
No, it was a throwback. It was just sort of 1 done over again, but a little bit differently.
Well, that was the way Texas Blood Money, or excuse me,
exactly.
The
From Dusk Till Dawn. That's what I'm saying.
It was like pretty much
the same but done
film,
differently.
But, yeah.
Right. That's the same with Sometimes They Come Back. Like those were actually fun movies. Like
that short story from Night Shift though, from Sometimes They Come Back, fantastic, dude.
Yeah, that was fun.
Holy
like
crap.
I like those movies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them like that. But I liked a lot of the one-offs too, like of the Mangler. I think that's
Robert
2
Englund
sucked,
was in
3
that,
was
man.
good.
Yeah.
Again, I think that was part of the same thing. It happened with so many of them. But
as you've heard me say many times, I love
the David Arquette one was good. That was just one though.
Yeah, that was
Riding the Bullet.
Yes, Ride the Bullet. Yeah, which is good. Honestly, dude, I love the remake of Children of the Corn that they did for Sci-Fi. It actually ended nasty and negatively like the original.
I still think Children
did.
of the Corn 3 is the best though. I love that with the big creature at the end.
Urban Harvest.
Urban Harvest, yeah. But we haven't watched Beyond it yet. We need to watch the rest still.
Yeah,
all right, so let's move on to the last story here.
Last story, and I'm going to let you take this away.
Okay, so
this is your forte.
First, we're going to jump into a little bit of news from the Venomverse, which we meant to go over last week, but we didn't. I'm wearing the Venom tie from So Ashtastic. You can see him here at the bottom. But yeah, so Venom apparently completed the first, was it 2 weeks? Completed the first 2 weeks of filming without anyone even knowing they had already began. Like Tom Hardy tweeted out a photo saying 2 weeks down, and it was him like all buffed out, having just finished shooting a scene. Guys, I am so excited to see Tom Hardy play fucking Eddie Brock. Like, he's huge, like Eddie Brock should be. And if they do it right, like, are they tying it with Tom Holland or not?
There is lots of speculation that he will at least cameo, but there's no.
But he can't be part of the Daily Bugle yet.
But there's no confirmation.
And that Spider-Man meets Venom at the Daily Bugle, so they would have to be a flash forward in order. Yeah, like I don't know how they're going to work that out.
Yeah, because shit. I mean,
but listen, Venom needs a reason to hate Spider-Man to keep it close to the comics, because the reason that he was introduced was they were both working at the Daily Bugle, and Eddie Brock broke a fake story, and Peter like broke the real story and discredited Brock, and so Brock hates Peter Parker, and at the same time Peter Parker also shunned the symbiote, and so they melded, and Brock hated Parker, the symbiote hated Parker. It made for the perfect weapon against Parker, because Venom also didn't trip the spider sense, because the symbiote had learned, and that's how Eddie Brock can do all the Spider-Man stuff, because the symbiote learned how to do it all while it was on Spider-Man.
This is how you know he's read the comics and I have not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of that is, like, if you think about it, how does Venom have all the spider powers? It's because he was on Spider-Man for so long before he got on Eddie Brock.
How many years did they actually do that storyline with the symbiote on him?
The symbiote that was launched in Web of Spider-Man. Like that happened a long time. Like he was in the black suit for like at least I think 2 years.
Really, that
before Eddie Brock came around, before he got rid of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like 2 human years. Yeah. You know, like two non-comic years. I'm sure it was just like 6 months in the comics or something like that.
So wasn't McFarlane instrumental in like the
exactly? He launched Web of Spider-Man.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. The Lizard was the first arc that he did, and then the black suit started to come in and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway.
So the reason we're talking about this, guys, is because of the fact that after the Venom movie, there is a Morbius the Living Vampire film that is already in development. There's a script, according to THR, that's already been submitted. So this is like real-time shit, like really happening. And apparently, their Sinister Six movie is also still on track. It doesn't have it doesn't have Drew Goddard attached anymore, unfortunately, because he's off doing another iconic property, which is eluding me at the moment. But nonetheless, I'm not sure about these guys who are writing the script, though. I did not see the Power Rangers movie. Did you?
No, I never got around to it. But I heard it was really boring, because they didn't even do any Power Rangers stuff until the final act of the movie.
Well, that's because they were planning it as like a 6-film arc, and then the film underperformed.
6 films?
Yeah, and then the film underperforms.
Jesus
and then
Christ.
No, seriously, straight up. They were planning to make like a full-on...
That's putting the cart before the horse.
Justice League, we're looking at you guys. I'm just kidding.
What? I like Justice League.
I know.
Go watch it before you fucking make those comments, you son of a sack.
I've heard so much negativity. What did you guys think of Justice League? Did you like it? Did you think it was kind of...
Or do you blindly follow Collider and what they say?
Yeah, or Lou, or various friends of mine who I respect their opinions.
How fucking dare you? You're going to walk out of there going, that was more enjoyable than I expected.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
I just hope it's fun, man. Thor was
what it's
fun.
Gonna be. It was
Thor
not. It's not as fun as Thor. It's not as fun as Thor.
No.
There's 100% less Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
So.
And he was, dude. The scene where he
was so back, Jeff Goldblum.
He was so Jeff Goldblum, and the scene where he walked back to like the DJ table and like starts. I was like, what movie?
Well, and the end scene too. Yeah. He's like, it takes two sides for a revolution to work.
I was like, what movie am I watching here? This is ridiculous. But yeah, I have to say.
So Morbius though.
Yes, so Morbius though. After Sinister Six and after Venom, they're going to do a Morbius the Living Vampire film, which it intrigues me because I remember him very well from the cartoons, but he always felt more so like the Blade Ghost Rider side of the Marvel horror-verse as opposed to...
Right.
I know he was debuted
the Marvel Creature-verse, the Marvel Knights sort of thing.
Yeah, but he was debuted in Spider-Man, though, oddly enough. And it was the first issue...
He's a Spider-Man character.
It was the first issue not written by Stan Lee.
Nice.
They brought on
really?
That, yes.
That's cool.
Yes, the very first issue.
That's interesting trivia.
And yet there was weird, like, comic book code at the time where you couldn't... I mean,
the comics code of America.
Yeah, so they couldn't have, like, undead stuff in there, whatever. So
that's like, why he was the living
vampire for that sheer fact, which just makes me laugh. And that was all thanks to EC and
that's cool, though. It could work, though, because he can usher in a sort of Marvel monsterverse. Like, they could do Werewolf by Night.
But if they
could do Fool Killer, even. They could do...
Who has the rights, though? I mean, that's what I wonder.
Marvel has them.
But for him, too? Obviously not.
For Morbius?
Yeah. He's a Spider-Man character, so he's a Sony property.
Fox, yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's true. Yeah, but there's all those rumors of Disney buying Fox. Yeah. And then Sony is already collaborating with Marvel, so there's no reason why they couldn't.
Yeah, they're already bedfellows, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's no reason why they couldn't.
I don't know. I want more Blade. I love Blade.
Blade would be good.
I know
they did the failed TV show, but I love the character Blade.
Yeah. Was there Blade and Morbius cross-pollination in the comic books? I'm sure there was, right?
I didn't go see it. I just watched Cecil and Brittany tell me the movie. That was more entertaining. Amanda, that's hilarious.
There you go. She hasn't seen Ant-Man, though.
I really disliked Batman v Superman, but thought it was way, way better than Justice League. Kevin, I want to say fuck you so bad.
BVS?
There's no way BVS was better than Justice League. No fucking way. No way.
I've heard a lot of people say it is.
No way. Why? How? Yeah. What? That's bullshit. I'm calling fucking straight bullshit on that.
I've seen critics. Once again,
Lou
like BVS better.
No way. No way. No. Those people are just fucking looking to hate, man. No way.
Are they cynics? They're
just complete
upset?
cynics. That's bullshit. That's bullshit saying BVS is better. No fucking way.
The ultimate cut, though?
No, that's even just longer bullshit.
I like the ultimate.
No,
you and I never got through it. We were both like falling asleep.
Cecil and Grace Randolph should get married. I don't know who Grace Randolph is.
That?
BVS is a disgrace compared to Justice League, says Anibal Riveros, and I actually agree. At least BVS had the balls to go ambitious and stick with a tone. Justice League was all over the place. Who cares? Justice League was a more entertaining movie, and it wasn't that all over the place. How was it all over the place? It was as lighthearted as it could be within the framework of the dark DC universe they had set up. And again, it's an assemble movie. It's the Justice League coming together. It has to go from person to person. Like, the through line is Bruce. What the fuck else were you expecting?
Some people think it was too lighthearted. It didn't match the tone of the previous two films.
Of course it didn't, because the previous two films, everyone shit on the tone. Everyone said the tone was ridiculously too dark. They're trying to brighten it up.
I liked the tone of those first two films, though. Did you?
There's a character that literally says, I'm sorry I left, but I'm back now, and I'm going to make things right.
Oh, God, I know who that is.
But that is literally Joss Whedon talking to us. right? Because he was originally supposed to do Wonder Woman years ago, but he left to do the Marvel Universe. And then the DC Universe spun off into this weird dark bullshit. And literally he's back now to fix it and make it right.
I heard his script sucked though. I heard his Wonder Woman script was not very good.
That's fine. But still, it still resonates with me.
This is horror show talk, by the way, guys.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. But still, Joss Whedon is a sexist pig. Oh, boy.
It's been said.
Will Rube is saying Joss Whedon is a sexist pig. Will, you're the one that... Oh, boy. I'm going to take that with a little grain of salt, buddy, considering the comments you've made towards some of the women on this show at some point early on. You're cool now, but you were a little aggressive at first, buddy boy. I'm going to call you out on that. I dig you, buddy. I dig you. And you're a loyal fan, and I love you for that. But you said some aggressive stuff to some of the women early on. A little bit aggressive on the Britney side of things. But yeah. Kevin Ketchy, I loved Man of Steel and Wonder Woman, but it felt so weird, man. I get that they're trying to make it lighter and funnier, but it didn't work for me. But it was still better than Batman v Superman. Oh my god.
Since I haven't seen it yet, I can't chime in with this. I went and saw Thor and Blade Runner, guys, yeah. So good.
They love my comments, especially Brittany, just saying. I'm with Brittany quite a bit, and I can tell you what Brittany thinks of your comments, buddy boy.
Whoa!
Hey, Cecil, I just bought Lockjaw. Yeah, or Lockjaw, Hookjaw. So you bought that big hardcover? All right, I'm going to go get this. Fuego, talk for a minute, because I've referred to it a number of times on the podcast. Go ahead, talk to the audience.
So, guys, you like the Morbius idea? Are you fans of the living vampire and such? You know, I'm just curious if they're going to make it an R-rated film. I'm curious if even Venom is going to be R-rated at this point. I'm assuming not with the Spider-Man correlation. I would assume that there is going to be at least a cameo from Tom Hardy. Not Tom Hardy. Tom Holland. Yeah, that's right. We have Tom Holland and then we have Tom Hardy. So news of booze. Yes, wonderful. Yeah, Tom Hardy, I think, is at least... I'm saying Hardy again, Laugh at me, guys. Laugh at me. I think Holland is going to make a cameo, but I'm just really curious the tone of this Venom film. There was a lot of interesting rumors that were going around for a while where they were saying that Life, which might even be in my top 10 horror films of the year, I'm sad that it underperformed at the box office. I'm sure it's going to be in Marsha's tops of the year because she spoke so highly of it after we reviewed it. Life, remember the one with... Deadpool and
yeah, I like that movie.
Yeah, Deadpool, Gyllenhaal, all those guys. They were saying that was actually kind of a pseudo Deadpool prequel and Venom prequel. Jesus Christ!
It wasn't obviously, but
yeah, it wasn't. How about that Deadpool Bob Ross teaser though? That was amazingly fun.
That was fun. So yeah, Sam, this is the hardcover that I got. I think it's Sam, right?
Sam Power.
Sam, the one...
Sam.
Who's the one doing Hookjaw? Yeah, Sam Power. This is the hardcover of the original Hookjaw stuff, which I've just begun. I will be doing a review on the channel, but it's all of the original 70s Hookjaw shark cartoons.
And it's all black and white.
Yeah, it's all the original, but it's presented in this big... Well, there is blood later on that comes into it.
Yeah, nice.
So, yeah, this is the original Hookjaw. It's the complete... collection of all the Hookjaw stories from the original Action Comics.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to be doing that review because we did review the new series, so I've just started it, but it's really cool, man. It's really fun to read.
Nice.
So that's what I hope that's what you ordered, Sam, because it's awesome. Okay, so I think that's going to do it, you guys. Fuego and I need to wrap this up. We're going to be recording our episode for tomorrow, and then I'm going to be recording that Batman review. But thank you guys very much for joining us. If you're watching this later, make sure you comment down below. Let us know which of the news stories, or let us know what you thought of all the news stories. But specifically, if there are any couple that caught your attention, let us know. Let us know what you think of us doing it this way in the old studio rather than doing it out there with the news stories on the side. Does this work for you? Is this more fun? Is the audio better? I don't know. You let us know. But thank you guys very much for joining us. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
And I've been Javier Fuego.
And remember, stay scared! And...
Love ya. Peace out.
Hey, I'm right here, you son of a so-and-so. How do I... And...